Hey everyone, the new year is here, so you know what that means. It's time to look forward towards the next year and to see all the great films that are coming out this year and look at why I'm excited for them, and maybe you'll find something to look forward to too. Now, before we start, this is 2021, the sequel to 2020, so a lot of the films I mentioned this year have a high chance of getting delayed. Some films that are coming out in the second half of the year are much more likely to stick, but anything coming out in spring and summer will have a big asterisk next to it, as there's a high chance it will get delayed. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting with the runners up of West Side Story, A Quiet Place Part 2, Last Night in Soho, and The Sound of Metal. These films have all got me pretty excited, but the following 10 are the ones I'm really looking forward to. So let's get into them. Starting at number 10 with. I've been excited for The Green Knight for a long time. Everything about this film just seems so unique and interesting. Judging from the teaser trailer alone, even if the story falls short, it's gonna look visually breathtaking. The director David Lowery also directed A Ghost Story back in 2017, so I have hope that my excitement is well placed in this film. It just looks so different and weird and twisted. From the looks of it in certain articles I read, it seems to be a psychological thriller set in the medieval times, which is just such a unique and interesting premise to me, and I cannot wait to check this one out. I love the Mission Impossible movies. They are just so well made. The action scenes in the Mission Impossible movies are just. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, they're not the best written things ever, they're predictable and cookie cutter, the cinematography and direction is always pretty generic, the performances are always never really anything amazing, but oh my god, they're just so much fun and so intense at times as well. So when I hear there's a seventh one coming this time, you know I'm hyped. Nomadland technically came out in 2020, but I'm still including it on this list as I haven't seen it and it's getting its wide theatrical release this year. Nomadland seems like the perfect kind of film to follow up 2020 with. It seems to be a film all about love and hope and being kind to each other, and I think that's what everyone needs in their lives right now. So I reckon me and many others will absolutely love this. It got rave reviews at critic and press screenings this year, and the film just has a general positive buzz about it, so yeah, this looks like a great one, and it couldn't have arrived at a better time. I'm not the biggest comic book movie guy. I like Marvel movies. They're fun and enjoyable even if they are a bit disposable, and DC occasionally makes something pretty great, even if you do have to get through a lot of trash to get there. So, when I say that I'm excited for The Suicide Squad, a comic book movie that is a sequel to one of my least favourite films ever made, you know this is a promising film. The Suicide Squad just looks so interesting and great. I like James Gunn a lot. He's a pretty great director and writer, and he seems to have been given full creative control over the project, which is so exciting because you know he's just going to make something so wacky and insane, and I love that stuff. I can just tell from the teaser trailer alone and the posters that this film is just going to be so much fun and over the top action, and honestly, I want that after a year like 2020, and I think a lot of other people do too. I've already shown how much love I have for Damien Chazelle on my channel with my La La Land video, so it shouldn't be a surprise with his next film about early era Hollywood is on this list. I don't really have much to say about this film as neither a plot or trailer has been released yet, but Chazelle is just such a fantastic director I can't help but be hyped for it. I've given this film an asterisk not because I think it'll be delayed because of the pandemic, but because I think it will be delayed because it hasn't even started shooting yet, it's still in pre-production. Anyway, this looks great and probably will be great, so let's go on to something I have a bit more to talk about. A film based on a complex and confusing sci-fi novel, and the fact it's probably going to be over 3 hours long should push me away from this film and never want to come back. But, and it's a big but here, and that but is Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve is one of my favourite directors currently working. There's such great films like Prisoners, Blade Runner, Sicario, and the criminally underrated Enemy under his belt. The man is a master at building interesting characters and compelling narratives, and I can't wait to see what he does with Dune. The film already looks so promising with such a great cast and Villeneuve on board that I can't help but be excited for it, even though I know it's probably not gonna be my thing. You should have seen this coming. While I'm not the biggest Wes Anderson fan out there, I adored Isle of Dogs, his last film that was released back in 2018. It felt like he had perfected his style in Isle of Dogs, and I loved it so much. If Anderson carries what he clearly learned from Isle of Dogs to French Dispatch, then this film will be amazing. What I love about Anderson's filmography is that all his films feel like live-action cartoons, and The French Dispatch seems to be no exception to this. Even if it is a step down from Isle of Dogs, it's still bound to be so much fun and just visually stunning. Minari is in a very similar boat to Nomadland for several different reasons. Firstly, even though it came out in 2020 for critics and the press, I'm still including it in this list as it's getting its worldwide theatrical release in 2021. Secondly, it feels very important as a film that follows up 2020. Like Nomadland, Minari is surrounded by positive buzz and energy and seems to be a very personal and intimate film which has had a lot of love put into it, and like Nomadland, we all need a bit of that after last year. I just love films like this so much as well. Films about people just living their lives and experiencing things that affect them, and Minari seems like a perfect encapsulation of that for me. Like Damien Chazelle, I've already shown my love for Robert Eggers on this channel, so I'll keep this brief. Eggers, the director of The Northman, is, in my opinion, one of the best up-and-coming directors currently working. Both The Lighthouse and The Witch are fantastically directed and written, and his next project seems even more promising than his previous works. The Northman is a Viking revenge tale with a star-studded cast, and that's enough what I need to know to get excited for it. The Viking period is such an interesting time period that is rarely explored in film, so it's great to see it being done here by such a talented director. What also intrigues me about this film is its supposedly higher budget. Both of Eggers' last film have been small budget A24 funded horror films, while The Northman is a bigger budget focused feature funded action film. This is such a big stylistic and budgetary departure for Eggers, and I'm intrigued on how he will carry it out and do justice to the time period, and honestly, I have every faith in him succeeding. Alright, so that's it. What are you looking forward to in 2021? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.